I'd love to have you in my class, which is titled Five Things I've Learned About the Power of Life-Changing Vacations. But to get into this, I'm a big believer in storytelling. So I'd like to start with a little story. It is a story that I'm stealing. I actually heard it from the best guide I've ever been with. His name was Tu Yen. He worked in Vietnam when he wasn't a guide. He was a college professor, and he told me this story in a Buddhist temple. He said that when the Buddha was alive once, a woman came to him with a face like death, and she said, "Buddha, I believe in you. Can you help me? I am the most unhappy woman on earth because my son died. And when I wake up in the morning, I don't see the sun shining anymore. And when I put food in my mouth, it tastes like ashes. Buddha, I believe in you. Can you bring my son back to life?" The Buddha paused and he looked at her and he said, "All right, I will bring your son back to life, but you have to prove to me that you are actually the most unhappy woman on earth. And so you have to go around the earth and find out what other people's joys and sorrows consist of. And to understand that, you have to talk to them. You have to see the wonders that they built and look at how they work and how they play. You have to get involved with their lives so you can actually understand them." She said, fine. She went away. 1 year passes. He doesn't hear from her. Another year passes. She hasn't come back. On the third year, a woman walks up to the Buddha, but he doesn't recognize her because she's smiling. And she says, "Thank you, Buddha, for lying to me. I now know that you never could have brought my son back, but you've helped me bring my life back. And you've done that by having me travel. I went around the world and I saw wonders that I didn't even know existed. And I learned about people's lives and all we have in common and the wonderful things that we have that are different. And as I traveled slowly, my life came back to me." That's how I feel about travel. That, I think, is the power of travel if you do it right. And so in this session, I really want us to learn about the destinations that can encourage this type of mindful travel, the types of travel that can give you a deeper experience of the world. And I gotta say, I'm a very practical person. I think if you're on a trip and you're freaked out by the costs, you're not going to enjoy it. So I'm also going to talk about how to save money during these life-changing vacations, because I think that's important. Money underlies our entire lives. And if we spend too much on vacation, we're not going to enjoy it. And I also will bring in a couple of wise thoughts from some of the great thinkers who explored what travel can be. So I hope you will join me. I promise it will be fun. I promise there will be stories. I promise there will be screenshots that you're going to want to take. We'll answer your questions. I love sharing with travelers. I once heard that the secret to happiness is finding an area of expertise and sharing it with others. And that's how I feel about happiness. So I hope you'll be part of my happy time. It'll be a really interesting exploration of the world of travel.